I was just talking about it today. I remember the day that Artie shows Pete and Micah the Tesla. And I remember the weight of this. I'm like, a ray gun? That's right, I have a ray gun. And not only that, but it's not just made up. Nikola Tesla is a real person who you can actually go, and you can find out things about this man who really, I mean, you know, Thomas Edison kind of screwed him over. Right? I mean, Nikola Tesla is really the guy. And people don't know that. So for me, that's probably the most important prop. It kind of set the tone for the show for me, and kind of let me know that, hey man, I was on a show where, you know, granted, I know you can learn a lot on Jersey Shore, but I'm on a show where people can actually learn something, and a show where the family can watch, and that, you know, a dad and his son and his daughter and his wife, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had people come up and go, my son and I love your show. My daughter, she's in college, she watches. Whenever she comes home, we all watch together. How many shows are like that? You know, like, what? A show that actually brings the family together? I mean, you know, that's how shows were when I was growing up, and the fact that maybe I can give that back is good. So, Tesla for me. Thank you.
So I'm from Canada, and I wanted to know, since you work in Toronto, what's your favorite Tim Hortons order?
Tim Hortons, if you don't know, is a coffee shop, donut shop. Tim Horton was a hockey player, right? Did he play for the Leafs?
I can't remember.
And so, and look, God love you, but the coffee's not good, and neither are the donuts. But
I'm offended.
What? What's that?
I'm offended. I love their donuts.
Well, so do I. Are you kidding? No, I'm saying I do too. I mean, my wife is like, you know, everybody stands in line and they drink coffee, and it's like, you know, Starbucks, Star Schmucks, we're going to Timmy Ho's, right? And so my favorite is the original dip, chocolate donut. And I usually get, like, when I binge out, like if I'm like, hey, I've been a good boy today, I go and get some original dip and a little thing of milk. I don't drink coffee. I've never drank coffee. It makes me nervous and sketches me out a little bit, so.
The hot chocolate's my favorite, so.
The hot chocolate. See, that's what, maybe I haven't had the hot chocolate, and that's why I have an opinion, but I love Timmy Ho's. So good. Take that back to Canada.
Also, my friends want you to take off your shirt. This is your
Yeah! I don't want to take off my shirt, but I'm looking out my pants. If your friends want to see me shirtless, tell them to go to the ATM and meet me behind my...
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We're here.
I wanted to know if it was really weird seeing a bunch of Warehouse 13 agents at a con in a show that you're in and people cosplaying as you. And my mom wasn't able to get her question. She's sitting right there. You've already met her, but she wanted to know more about your family and stuff like that.
Okay, as far as the cosplay is concerned, no, I love it, man. I think that it's, look, this is, before I did a sci-fi show, I watched this show called Trekkies, this documentary called Trekkies. And loved it, right? And the normies are all like, what, you're going to those sci-fi conventions? Those people are so... Right? And I'm like, look, people that dress up as their favorite character and who know every line from every movie that you've ever done or from every Star Trek episode or whatever your show of choice may be, they're no different than the guy who goes to every game, who knows every statistic of every batter, of every pitcher. It's the same thing.
And the guys who paint their chests.
Yeah. for some reason, I mean, so it's not, for me, it's not weird. And I love spreading that message. Like, really, dude? You think that's weird? The fact that you have the Cleveland Indian logo tattooed to your bum, that's weirder. Arm and bum, apparently. So no, I love the cosplay. It's flattering and it's cool. So that's the answer to that question. As far as my family is concerned, I have an older sister. She's 4 years older. She lives in Florida. She has 2 beautiful kids. One who goes to the University of Florida, and he's like in 4th grade now. My father lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. Please do not stalk these people. My dad is my hero. My dad basically raised me from, got me up in the morning, got me ready for school, drove me to school, came to every wrestling match, every football game. Talk about a role model for me. He lives out in Scottsdale. My mother lives in San Diego. She's living. I don't really have a great relationship with my mom, unfortunately. She's got her things that she lives with. You asked, I'm going to tell you. It's part of life, and I'm always working to have a better relationship with her. So, let's see. Do you want to know? Should I lay down on the table? Well, Mr. Freud.
Because my mom said that she said something about your son.
Oh, my son. Jesus. And then I forgot to. Yes. I have a wife. My wife Lynn, who I've known for 10 years. I actually met her at an AA meeting. It's like I would go to AA meetings. I'm like, man, that's a great place to pick up chicks. And I picked one up, and she was terribly frightened of me at first. I was like, I got her number through someone else, and she was like, who is this? I'm like, yeah, it's really neat. She's like, what? No. And but I broke her down, and she decided to procreate with me, and we had 2 sons. The hardest things that I've ever had to work on, but the most rewarding, greatest things that I've ever achieved in my life. My 2 sons, I'm just like, it's hard because I work in Toronto for 9 months of the year, and I'm sorry, that's annoying. And then my wife and my kids are in LA, and I miss them terribly, but at least I have Skype. So what we do with Skype is as soon as I get home from work, I turn on the Skype, I open it up, and I just let it sit there. So I can hear what's going on in the house. And every once in a while, I'll even look around and be like, really, Jack, you're not? No, Jack! It scared me. I'm like big brother over here. So I actually get to kind of parent every once in a while. We do homework. I help Jack with his homework. But it's terrible that I'm so far away from him. But they are they are the greatest. Jack is actually dressing as Jason this year. He's getting started early on his sociopathic ways. Yes, and then Max is going as Dracula. So yeah. Oh, and I bought some comic books. Every time I go to a con, I buy them my favorite comics. Like Bronze Age, Marvel, like Werewolf by Night, and Tomb of Dracula, and Old Hulk, and eventually when they get old enough, I'll go, here dudes, these are yours. And they're like, dude, we're into Pikachu. You kidding? Where's the Minecraft? Jack's really into Minecraft. I'm like, really? You have like Halo to play and you're playing Minecraft? I don't know if you've ever played Minecraft. It's like almost analog.
Yeah, but it does get addictive.
Nice. So So there it is. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Which is one that we never actually got to see, but I got to speak about. It was Abe Lincoln's hat. The fact that Pete said that he put it on and had an irresistible urge to free Mrs. Frederick. And I was like, that's so brilliant. Thank you for allowing me to say that. Again, it just, for me, speaks volumes about the show, about the network, about our ability to say things in jest without people burning down a church or going, it's like, look, man, we're all here for the greater good. You're either moving toward something good, or you're trying to hold everyone back. And I think Warehouse 13 is moving toward the light, Caroline. And so that has been my favorite. It's one that kind of epitomized the show for me most. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully I'll be invited back, and we'll see you next time.